guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk all about anxiety. If you did not know, I have anxiety and I just wanted to talk about it, be open with you guys about it because it's not something to be ashamed of if you have it, and it's something to know about if you don't. So I actually did one of these videos basically a year ago today. A lot of you probably have never seen that video just because my channel was so much smaller then. It's actually grown so much since that video. Not because of that video, just in general, that time of my channel was starting to grow a lot. So I thought it would be good to do an updated one. That video was kind of different. I talked more about my panic attacks and just in general about them and when they happened and where they happened and stuff. This one is not going to be that type of video. It's just more going to be talking about anxiety in general. So what is anxiety? For me, I feel like it's such a specific thing and such a personal thing for everybody who has it. It's kind of like what diet works for you. Everyone's different. Or what workouts work for you. Everyone's different. Or what makes you happy or what you like to do. Everyone is different. So what makes me anxious doesn't make you anxious, and what makes her anxious doesn't make him anxious, and it's just all different things. Anxiety for me, though, is a feeling of pure panic where you think something horrible is going to happen to you, and there's no reason behind it, or not a valid reason. I have anxiety over heights is a huge one for me. I can't with heights. I can't. It's bad. It's really bad. I can't take escalators. I have to take elevators. I can't do a lot of things that normal people can do because of my anxiety. I mean, it is what it is. I can't control it. Other things make me have panic attacks though, but I don't really want to get into that necessarily just because it's very personal. And the fact that I even told you guys about the heights thing for me is a big deal, so baby steps, okay? For me, growing up, I was always kind of a shy kid and just nervous about a lot of things. But I think that kind of developed over time into being somebody with anxiety. I don't think if you are a nervous person or if you're a shy person or if you get uncomfortable in different situations, that means that you have anxiety. I don't think those two always overlap. They can, but they don't always, I don't think. This is all personal preference, by the way. I'm not a doctor. I'm 17. Just saying. But for me, at least, I don't think that if you're shy, that means you have anxiety. And I feel like a lot of people joke about anxiety, not in like a ha 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 way, but more like, oh my god, like I'm having so much anxiety over this test. And for them, they're just nervous about it. And I don't like when people just use, or like, oh, I'm gonna have a panic attack. Like, it annoys me because I actually have had those things. And I actually do get those things. And I know people are saying that just because it doesn't seem like a big deal to them. But it is. Like, sometimes people joke about horrible things and to them it's just a joke because it's funny to them, but other people it hurts because they actually have been through that and felt the pain of that and it's not that funny. Some people do actually have anxiety and say those things. So how do I deal with my anxiety? I do have some medications. I don't use them every day. It's not something like that. I personally actually hate medications. Fun fact about me. If I'm ever sick, I don't really take medicine. If I'm ever on my period and like in horrible pain, I don't really take medicine. I don't really like the feeling of not being in control. But when I have a panic attack or when I'm very, very anxious, that feeling of not being in control kind of outweighs the fact that I'll have to medicate myself a little bit. They're all safe and it's nothing sketchy or weird. So just talk to your doctor about whatever they think that you should use or go to. Yeah, I'm not the one to recommend that to you. Anxiety for me is a very, very personal thing, and I know I don't have to make this video, and so many of you would never know that I had it if I never made this video, but I think it's important for people to just talk about and be open about. How does it affect my everyday life? We'll talk about that a little bit. Kind of mentioned it with the escalators. I can't do escalators. There's just way too much open space on the side, and I know nothing's gonna happen. Like, you just go up, stand on it, and it'll take you up. But even once I'm up there, wherever the escalator is leading me, in a mall or whatever, I still can't do it. So it's very, very stressful and nerve-wracking the entire time I'm in an indoor mall, basically. I love shopping, but doing everything that involves getting to those stores and all that stuff, it's horrible for me. And I hate the fact that I have this, and I feel like a lot of people are embarrassed that they have anxiety like this for things that are so irrelevant and don't matter to so many other people. I feel like if you don't have anxiety, and you see someone who does, you're probably just like, well, they're just nervous, or they're just, you know, scared for nothing. Like, come on, it's fine, nothing's gonna happen to you. And that doesn't help anybody with anxiety, because we're telling ourselves, hey, it's fine, like, you just stand on this escalator and I'll take you up, and then that's it, you're good, you're not gonna fall, don't jump, you're not gonna fall if you just stand still. And for some reason, I can't shake that feeling, and it's literally, I guess it's a disorder, I would suppose you could say. It's not something that I can just tell myself that it's gonna be okay, and then I'm like, oh, it's fine. That is just not how it works, because it has something to do internally. It's not something that you can just tell yourself is fine. So little things like that kind of do stress me out. A lot of my friends do know about how I have anxiety and what I have anxiety over, so they're pretty nice about it. I have had anxiety for, I think, 7 years, maybe? I don't remember what I said in that last video, because I think I even mentioned it, how long I had it, or how long I've had it that I can remember. It might be longer, it might be shorter, but that's like a rough estimate. Like I said, I was always a shy, kind of nervous child, but as I got older, I feel like it kind of developed and transitioned into just being an anxious, anxiety-driven person. So I'm not really sure where the cutoff was on that. So that's just a little bit about my anxiety, and if you have it, to not be ashamed about it. It's so great to just openly talk about it. You know, I met someone new last weekend. We were just walking and talking about something that we were afraid of, like our fears or whatever, and I was like, well, I have this really intense anxiety over heights. For some reason, it was just very calming, because he was like, oh, I actually have anxiety too. And I was like, what? Like, not that you should be excited when someone else has it, but you just kind of feel a little bit more connected to people, I guess, and it just makes you feel a lot less alone. And it was weird, because I've never just openly said that to someone who I literally met a day ago, but I was with him, and it wasn't a bad thing. If anyone makes fun of it or looks at you weird, just roll it off your shoulders. And if they're your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or a family member saying something or being rude about it, maybe they don't understand, so just sit them down and be like, no, this is actually something I'm going through. It's not just a phase, or it's not just me being a little nervous or a little scared for something. I actually can't control it. So bear with me, please. Thanks. I've had some bad panic attacks before. I know I said I didn't really want to get into this too much, but a little bit. I have had some bad panic attacks before, where I just literally have to sit down on the side of a street and put my head between my legs and just breathe, because there's nothing else I could do in that moment. And in retrospect, I guess it would be embarrassing, but at the time, you literally don't care. Anxiety for me is one of those things where I don't care what the heck anyone else around me is doing. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what people are thinking. If I'm having a panic attack, the one thing I care about is myself and how to get out of that situation. I guess it could be embarrassing, like I was saying, but because your body feels like it's going to die or it's going to pass out or whatever it is for you, I don't really think it matters in that moment at all, honestly, what you look like or what people are thinking about you. It doesn't matter. For me, my panic attacks have gotten a lot better. I think the last time I had a really, really intense one was maybe a year ago. I've had little smaller ones where I can control it a little bit more, but the biggest ones I haven't had in kind of a small while, which is pretty good. I have no control about when they come or go, so, you know, I think it's a nice thing that they haven't happened in a while. If you're having a panic attack or really strong anxiety, just take care of yourself. Don't worry about anybody else, because you need to cater to what you need. I feel like a lot of people online are making depression and anxiety and different things like that a little bit more trendy, if you want to say that, because all these it people seem to have something like that. And I don't ever want people to glorify this. This is not something for me to be like, everyone should have anxiety and panic attacks and oh, it's great. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all, and I never want you to think that. I just want to talk about this, and I'm also not doing this for attention. I actually really, I don't want this to seem cold, but I don't want your sympathy, because that just makes it seem like it's a sad thing. And I mean, anxiety can be a sad thing, but I do want to use it more for an informational purpose compared to pity me, please, subscribe. You know what I mean? I think that's about all I wanted to say. Just never look at it as something like, oh, I want that. That sounds so cool. If you have any questions, leave them below, or if maybe you want me to do a Q&A video centered around this, let me know below, like I said. Yeah, just leave all your questions or things like that down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. If you're going through any of this stuff right now, just know that it'll all be okay. And I know it's so cliche and cheesy and corny and but it will. If it's not better right now, it will get better. Because if you think about it, the only place you can go from the bottom is up. So if you feel like you're at the lowest part of your anxiety or your depression, or your suicidal thoughts or anything like that, I know I was talking about just anxiety, but if you have anything that's really bringing you down, if you feel like you're at rock bottom, the only place you can go from there is up. So just know that. If you want me to do a Q&A centered around mental health, let me know. I only have experience with anxiety. I've never been depressed or suicidal, but I think it could be something important to do nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you, and I hope you're having an incredible day. Make the most of your today, tomorrow, and next week. That's not a cute quote at all, is it? No. So please be sure to subscribe, comment, thumbs up, and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.